All right, so we're live. Let me just make sure it's working over here. And okay, yeah, looks like that's working. Close that. And just one more post while we're waiting for people to come in.
People come into the room with us, or how does this work?
So they will be watching on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And so we won't see anyone come into here. But basically, we're in StreamYard. We're streaming that to YouTube live. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. Okay, so hello to anyone that has already joined. I'm Jennifer McNeil, and I'm here with Amanda Capello about Capello Photography, and we're just going to be doing some image critiques from the images that have been shared over the last couple weeks in the group chat. So while we're waiting for people to get on and start watching on YouTube, Amanda, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Sure, thanks. My name is Amanda Capello. I'm originally from Connecticut, but moved to Phoenix, Arizona in 2011. My mom, she was a photographer. She shot mostly weddings and studio portraiture out of our home studio when we lived back in Connecticut. And I worked with her a little bit growing up, shooting film, shooting weddings. And then I went to school to be a high school math teacher, actually, which I did for a few years. Had my kiddos and did photography alongside, took some courses in college and throughout kind of my life, and then started my own business kind of out of the blue. It wasn't always life's plan for me to be a photographer. I actually have my master's degree in administration. I thought I would be a school principal, but God had a different plan, and here I am, a studio photographer for the past 10 years. And I dabbled in weddings prior, and for quite a few years, actually, I should say more than dabbled. I called it my second full-time job for a while there. Mm-hmm. But I was working in my studio and doing weddings. And now I'm just solely doing studio and families, outdoor, maternity, newborn, that kind of stuff in the studio as well. So, yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I too went to school to be a teacher and taught English for a couple years before becoming a photographer. Mm-hmm. So yeah, creativity called.
Okay, yeah.
So very cool. Well, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll pull up the images that people have, the makers have shared. Let's see. I think it's that window. Okay, yep. Okay, so we can see that. And okay, we'll start with this first one here. I tried to get these up in order this time. So here we go. We have a newborn image here.
Perfect. Go ahead. Is there a way I can make it bigger on my screen by chance?
Oh, is it not? Is it? Did that do anything? I don't know. So. Here, I can make it full screen. There we go. Does that help?
I got it. Yeah, and I put it on my end too. Perfect. Okay, this is super lovely. I love the way that the maker chose the colors and the textures. It's quite nice. The shades of purple and little elements of purple. I think for me, the baby's face might just be a little bit over retouched, a little bit smooth, almost like smoothing the eyebrows. And again, for me, I'm not able to zoom all the way in and see, but for me, the flowers in the top left corner almost look sharper than the baby's face and eyebrows. My eye keeps getting drawn to that. Okay, I know that it does add a nice element to the composition, but my eyes keep getting pulled there. So I'm not sure if there's a way to maybe blur or blend the flowers just a bit more in the top corner so they're not so much of a focal point focus for me. And keep the baby details a little bit sharper, like the eyelashes, the eyebrows, the lips. The lips look good. I can see the lip texture and detail, so that looks good. The face looks a little bit on the cheeks, maybe like the pink was painted maybe on the coloring of the baby, because the light feathers in this way really nicely. I love the way that the light feathers in this way. But I'm thinking maybe it just looks a little bit over smooth, or the shadows were lifted or something on this side of the baby's face on the left side, where it looks just a little bit soft here. But overall, the composition is really nice with the baby right in the center. Another thing my eye gets drawn to is that line that comes straight out of baby's head right there on the floor. So possibly softening that line, because the other lines don't appear sharp like that one. Maybe there's another one at the very corner on the left, but that line seems a little bit right through the baby. So I'm thinking maybe just blend out that line a little bit more, because it's coming straight from the baby's head. It's a little bit distracting there. But overall, super beautiful image. I love the floral elements, especially the little flowers coming from the basket that kind of incorporate the flowers in the corner too as well. And I almost wonder if the maker was able to add some flowers, maybe some blurred out flowers in the foreground or even in the background. Yeah, in that corner right there, just to help balance it just a little bit, just to help balance the image, and bring your eyes inward rather than my eye keeps going up to those flowers on the top, just because there's no balance on the bottom. I'm wondering if that would add like a little bit more balance to the image, but I do think this is quite beautiful. The lighting is well done. The baby's face is beautifully lit. The little cute bunny and the pose of the baby and the wrap of the baby is well done as well. The baby's wrapped in there tightly, and the baby's head is supported, it looks like, by something soft on the hard basket. So that's always really important to keep the baby's head, and baby's neck looks well supported as well. She's not tilted back. She's sitting nicely in the basket. So that looks great.
Cool. Yeah, I would agree with that. I am, my eye is catching right here. I think this
me
one,
too.
this
That one
part's
flower.
super
That's
focused.
right. Yep.
But I do love how the purple all kind of brings it all together.
That's right.
I think sometimes with really light eyebrows, you get this where it's like, where did the eyebrow go? So it might just be baby's eyebrows are like this, but it might be just, a little bit of editing.
Right.
That,
yeah. When editing, if
got
it
slightly
is
carried away, sometimes that happens.
right. I'm always trying to mask off the features, right? Like the hair, the eyebrows, the nose, the eyelashes, the lips, like make sure we keep the details of the baby, sharp, and then just
For sure.
on the rest. Yeah.
But I love the colors. These are my colors.
Yes.
Very nice. All right. So let's go on to the next one here.
Perfect.
So that's better when I extend it like that. Is that right?
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just me earlier, but now I can see better. Okay, great. For me, this image is a lot about connection and the feeling in the moment. It almost feels like this was a shot that was like, oh, like, hold on, that looks so cute. Like, let me grab that. Almost looks like it was a like in the moment type of shot rather than a posed, obviously, shot. I love how baby's eyes are super alert and awake and looking seemingly towards the camera. I can't tell. It looks to me like the top eye is sharper than the bottom eye, but again, it's quite hard for me because I'm not able to like zoom in and look at focus, how the focus landed. But yeah, it's a sweet in the moment type of shot. What's bothering me a little bit is the thumb coming right here. It's like missing the other fingers almost. So that thumb I don't know. It's taking away from baby's face for me. Like my eye just keeps going right to the thumb. Yeah, holding the baby. I wonder if the thumb could have been just tucked around a little bit more underneath the baby, just so that thumb isn't like thumbs up, right there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then another thing is just a little bit of the baby's skin is quite red, especially right around the chin and up that cheek right there. And then and the back of the
Mm-hmm.
baby towards the diaper showing in the back of the corner. Yep, right
Yeah,
there, right
yeah.
underneath the arm. So it's just a little bit spotty and blotchy, which is really, that's newborn skin, that's normal. But sometimes in portraits, just blending it just a little bit and getting rid of that like redness is more flattering for the baby. Um, and I think that would have been helpful as well. Um, yeah, I know, and the angle maybe just so slightly of the photographer shooting up the baby's nose just so slightly because you can see a little bit into the nostrils. Um, but again, I really do feel like this was probably an in the moment shot, like, oh my gosh, your baby's looking right at the camera, like hold right there, and it's super sweet. Like those moments are what parents are gonna love and cherish as well. Like this sweet moment of them holding their baby and showing like their baby fit literally into their palm of their hand. They were so small at that point, so that's really sweet. Um, yeah, I think,
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, if this
Go
feels
ahead.
like a lifestyle this feels like a lifestyle style type shoot. Like maybe they're in the people's house, like maybe there's a bed or something in the top corner or a dresser behind her. I don't know, it's blurred out, it's hard to tell, but like just some of those elements is making me feel like it's kind of more of a in the moment natural type shot, rather than like a studio type setup shot, with the wraps and things like that.
Yeah, I agree. This definitely looks like a lifestyle photo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with that in mind, sometimes some of the things that we'll do in studio portraits, like skin smoothing and whatnot, I
Yeah.
personally do as much of in a lifestyle session. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's sweet that you can see just like, the wrinkles of the forehead there,
Yep.
and just like the little, like you said, this is how baby skin is.
Mm-hmm.
My rule of thumb generally is like, things that are taking attention, I might soften. So like, um, even like maybe just like this one pimple and this little
Yeah,
like
that one I
red
noticed
mark,
that
that's
one too.
like, I mean, that's totally just like, that's baby skin. I might soften that a little bit even for a lifestyle image, but that's just a personal preference. And
Sure.
then once you pointed out the thumb, I can't stop seeing it either. It's
I
kind of
know.
creating a weird shape with this hand. So I would say, either tuck it in, or that might still look odd
Yeah.
because then it's
And
like, where do
more
the fingers
fingers,
go? And
right?
then bring the other fingers out to kind of
Yeah.
curve around the heads here, so you can even see more of what you were saying, like babies cradled in the hands and really their head fits so well in two hands.
Yeah.
So that might do it. But then again, like if you're taking this on the fly and you're like, oh my gosh, hold right there, then you get what you get, and a parent is going to love this image for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so good job. And then we have this next one. This is first newborn session. So here we go.
Cute. Oh, that's sweet. I always love how babies are bundled and oh, someone's dog barking.
I'm sorry. That's my dog. You keep going.
I was like, I don't have dogs. I'm gonna keep chatting. Okay, so I love how baby's bundled here, and there's a sweet little teddy bear that he's snuggling. That's always super cute, and he looks super cozy, or she, I guess. Can't tell if it's a boy or girl, but baby looks super cozy and snuggled. I will say, in an image like this, where baby's wrapped and the hands and toes, you could probably tighten up the wrap just a little bit more to to get the hands maybe like together and underneath, like peeking out from the wrap, or maybe even on the baby's face. And that one little toe that's like sticking up is super cute, but it's distracting me on the bottom toe. It's like a different way than the other ones. I guess, yeah. And then the other main thing with this image that can be improved on is the lighting. So for this one, a rule of thumb with photography is not to light up the face, but to light either across or just feather down the baby's nose. So for this image, I would say the light looks like it's lighting up the diaper bulge. So that's where my eye keeps getting drawn to, is that big diaper butt. So I would instead turn the baby the other way or move your light source to the other side, so the light is feathering down the baby's face or across the baby's face, depending on how you have them posed. And then also the angle of the camera. So a lot of times babies obviously are wearing diapers and it does get bulky like that. But if you wrap tighter and angle your camera, like if the maker was to shift his or her body to the left just a little bit more and shoot that way, and even tilt the baby's butt just a little bit up and back that way. It's so hard to describe, but the head should be here and the body like over here, and then you be like right here, and you're shooting down the baby, and then you won't even see that diaper bulge because it will be to the back, and your angle will make it such that you won't need to see the big diaper bulge. And another thing also is if you do get the diaper bulge in the picture, like if you're in the moment and you're like, oh, the baby was smiling, and just have to like snap a real quick one. If there's like an expression that you're trying to get, you could always liquefy it in Photoshop and just kind of like move it in just a little bit, so that way it doesn't look so bulky and like, like baby's got a big round butt going on there because it's just the diaper. So yeah, I would say I love the textures and the coziness of this image, but working on the lighting, the angle, and the wrap just a little bit will definitely help this maker.
Awesome. Yeah, and I agree. Like if the lighting was on the proper side, this wouldn't be so taking attention either. So that's a big one. So just move that light or move the baby. Like Amanda said, that's a super helpful tip. Also just work on wrapping. I know the maker said it was the first newborn session. So obviously like maybe haven't wrapped, hundreds of babies. So, and that's okay. We get there over time. There are a lot of great wrapping courses, including mine on APMPI. And I do, like, all my sessions are wrapped up. And one just quick tip about the diaper is that I always put a little snug diaper cover on too, because sometimes those diapers sag a bit. So first off, I'll tell parents, like, put them in the smallest size that you have. Oftentimes they'll size up to size 1, but really they can still fit in a newborn size diaper. And then it doesn't have as much bulk. And then you put a little diaper cover on and it just tucks everything in, and then makes it easier to then wrap it tighter. Yes. So it's not as distracting. But super sweet image. Great first session, honestly. The baby is calm. That's huge. So great job.
And sometimes when you're wrapping the baby when they're awake, especially if it's your first time wrapping, it's challenging. So it's quite easier to wrap a baby when they're sleeping.
When they're already asleep. Yeah. Yes. For sure. All right, let's go to the next one here. So we have Sabrina. I'll make that full screen. Oh, darling.
This is really precious. Wow, what a beautifully styled image. I really like the neutrals. Well done. I like the angle of the baby and how the face is pointed towards the camera. You can see the entire baby's face, and the cute little chin doesn't get left behind. It's kind of tilted up towards the camera, so that's nice. I even like the little foot dangling out of the basket. That's super sweet. The headband and the way that it kind of goes with the choice of blanket, super sweet. It almost reminds me of that first purple image. Is it the same maker or no? Well, I mean, probably.
I don't think so.
Just the blanket looks the same. I was like,
yeah, it is a similar blanket.
yeah, but I think the editing looks different, way different. So I'm assuming it's not the same maker. But anyways, I think the blanket just gave me deja vu. Okay. So yes, this is super sweet. I love the composition of the picture. Like I mentioned, I love how the baby's face is tilted up and the super sweet pose. Really don't have a ton of critique on this image, just a few things that are standing out to me. The spot on the baby's leg that's red between and the elbow, I suppose. There's some red spots. Yeah, right there in the elbow crease. Elbow crease, and then on the other leg by the foot. So just a few red spots. By the other foot, by the leg on the inner thigh.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
and there's
right.
and on the other side too. So just some red spots, some redness, and the face looks so beautifully done. Like the face looks like the maker took a lot of time to edit and make it nice. I can still see the eyebrows here. See, the eyebrows here look really sharp to me, and the eyelashes look really sharp. So I like that. I like that we didn't lose detail in the face too much. So that's quite nice. But the body looks like maybe we didn't even the skin tones and take the same editing that we did with the face. I could be wrong, but to me, it looks like maybe we could just reduce some of the reds in the feet and the body just a little bit, because it looks like it was done to the face. So that would be my first thing. And just two other super minor things. The headband ties that are coming out from her head and it like, meow, yep. And then the one that's like that. Yeah. That's taking away from the image for me. I would probably try to have tucked that behind her head so you don't even see it at all, or edit it out if you're already at the point where you're like, oops, that's distracting my eye, but it's there. So I would probably edit that one out. Because my eye just like, yeah, it's so bright right there. Exactly. That one caught my eye first, and then I was like, what is that? And then I followed it up and I realized it was coming from her head. So I would say that just tuck it behind the baby's head next time, and you won't have to worry about it, or edit it out if you're, if you can. And then, gosh, the other minor thing is, and this is so silly, but one of the sleeves is going off the baby's shoulder, and the other sleeve appears to be on the baby's shoulder. So I'm not sure how the outfit was intended to be, but maybe just put it up on the baby's shoulder just a little bit here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, maybe not. Yeah, but right there.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So right there on baby's shoulder, just maybe lifting it up, because in the other one, you can't see her neck or her shoulder. It also could be the way that her head is positioned, just a little bit tilted like that opens up this part of the neck and collarbone. But after the face, my eye was drawn to that shoulder. And maybe because it's a little bright back there also, like, I don't know. She's wearing an outfit, but then is she also wrapped in something? Yeah, like what is that white thing?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's
okay.
Like
yeah. So maybe that's why my eye was drawn there. Maybe it isn't even so much of a off the shoulder thing. Maybe it's just the wrap thing is a little brighter than the other tones. So like the blanket is a quite nice neutral. Yeah. And then it's like white right there, and everything else.
Yeah, this is more creamy, and this one looks more pure white.
Yeah. I think I would have opted for something that was closer to the blanket color, or maybe toned it down a little bit in Photoshop if possible, because my eye just gets pulled right there. But yeah, this is beautiful.
A bright spot. It is so beautiful and like, just dreamy.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, and those little those are little picky things, right? Like overall, it's just a beautiful image.
Absolutely being picky here, because this is very beautiful.
And yeah, I love the way her hands are laying on her chest. Like she looks so peaceful. This is like every parent's dream.
Oh, absolutely. Blow that one up on the wall.
All right, I'm going to go to this next one here. So we have a maternity image. Yay.
Yay. I love maternity as well. This is super beautiful. I love the dress. That's a super pretty dress. And I like all the texture that it gives. And then the mom's hair texture as well. And her skin is really pretty. I love maternity. I I feel like, I don't know, I love newborns too, but maternity for me is one of my main things that I do in the studio, and I super love it. I would say just a couple of things here because my style is also that white kind of style. And so again, I'm being picky. The maker, I don't know if it's like a matte effect that she goes for, but it's like just for me drawing away from the saturation of the lady's skin color. That it's like, I don't know. Is it a matte effect? Can you?
I can't tell, but I see what you mean. It's a little bit like muted.
Muted. Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like her leg almost looks a different color than her chest and her face.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably make sure that nothing has changed with her skin, or even her skin tone, if possible. Make sure her skin is staying true to her color, and just I love how her collarbone is showing and her shoulders are tilted. I probably would have lifted her chin just a little bit, so her neck was not so missing. Like I would like to see more of her neck showing, like a nice long neck. And also, like, it would give a curve to the back of her neck that would be maybe more flattering. And I would also have her shift her hips back just a bit, because that way she can get a nice curve on her backside, and it will actually make her leg look longer if you shift your hips back just a little bit, and then your toes kind of reaching forward versus like standing straight up on that leg, and just bending it like that. So if you just shift her hips back just a bit, so her butt gets rounded, and then her leg will look longer, and it'll be more flattering to her pose. I would say the biggest thing here for me is the pose, but I love the moment. I love the dress. I love her smile. It looks really peaceful. Yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty. I might experience, and maybe this is just one shot we're seeing in a session, but, take her chin and have her look up, this way. But then also, like Amanda said, when she puts her hips back and kind of is leaning forward, then the chin can be lifted a little bit, and she's still looking down at the belly if you want to achieve that.
You can still look down at the belly. Yeah, you can absolutely still look down at the belly. It doesn't have to be where you lift your chin and you're looking up, or you lift your chin and you're looking at the camera. I tell all my mamas, I'm like, it's pretend, like you just, you're not really looking at your belly. You're just looking down the bridge of your nose, and it looks like you're looking at your belly, and it looks great.
Yeah, exactly. So just learning those little cheats, right? So that it's like, look in this general direction. Like I'll tell them, sometimes their chest is in the way of their belly, quite honestly. So I'm like, just look at your chest, or just look at your nose, or look down that general direction, and then you angle yourself so that you get what you're envisioning. But overall, beautiful. I love the colors. Like the background goes really nicely with the dress.
Yes.
I would sometimes like leg skin and, chest face skin is a different color, but I would just double check that leg, like Amanda said, to see if like it's a little more like matching the tone of the dress than the tone of the rest of her skin. So just take another look at that. But yeah, overall, really good. So yeah, we let's see, I'm gonna stop sharing here. So I think that was 5 images.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Stop screen. There we go. So I think we'll stop there because it's been about 30 minutes. And then we do have a few more images from or that are on here for next time. So the next image critique, I believe, is, I think it's next week.
Right?
No. So that will be with Lisa, I believe.
Okay, perfect. I was like, I don't know if I
just want everyone. Just want everyone that's watching to. Yeah. So Lisa, let's see. I don't have it right in front of me, but here we go. The date isn't. I just figured I could like let people know when it is, but we've been doing a lot of this, so I think we rescheduled it for next Tuesday the 28th at 1:15 Pacific. That's what I meant. But so yeah, so I'll do the same thing, put the link in the chat and everything, and you can join in. I think the last 5 images we have are duplicate makers. Happy to do those, but if anybody else wants to add images, then there's still time to add images, and then Lisa can critique those. But yeah, I think we're all set. And thanks everyone for joining. And thank you, Amanda, for giving your critique.
Thank you.